All right, so here comes the chain of pain, which is really good to know. This is the crucial thing. Because this is how you stop it. This is how you stop suffering. This is an outline of the process. You could say cause and effect process of why we suffer. First of all, we're born. We're born ignorant, okay? And so, some people ask, immediately, well, what started that process? How come I was born ignorant? Well, because you've always been born ignorant. There is no start to that process. There can't be a first cause to something that wasn't itself caused. It's just is illogical. It's totally illogical to assume that there's some cause that wasn't itself a cause from a previous cause. So this has been going on since countless lifetimes. Since countless, beginningless time, they say. From beginningless time, we've been born with the potential for two forms of grasping to self-existence. Grasping to self-existence means grasping to something that existed in any other way than a projection coming from my mind. Okay, so what are the two forms of grasping to self-existence? Thinking that things exist as out there, objects, as something other than projections of my mind, and thinking that the mind that's projecting those objects exists as something other than a projection coming from my mind. Okay, so the mind itself that's projecting is itself what? A projector. It's a projection too. The mind that's projecting is a projector. When the mind thinks about the mind that's projecting, it's projecting a mind that's projecting. And when the mind thinks about the mind that's thinking about the mind that's projecting, what's the mind thinking of? Projecting a mind that's projecting a mind that's projecting a mind that's thinking. And back you go. There's nothing that's not a projection. So those are the two forms of self-grasping. They say me and mine. The grasping to me and the grasping to the world, to phenomena, to outside objects. The grasping to the self and to the world, you could say. We're born like that. Then those seeds ripen. We're born with potential for misunderstanding things in two ways. Then those seeds ripen. When? The first moment of consciousness that we have. In the first moment of consciousness that we have in any new life, those seeds ripen immediately. So the first moment of consciousness is, I am different than the thing that I'm in. Probably, right? I'm just guessing, right? I'm in some environment. I'm different than the environment I'm in, right? Subject-object distinction. When the first moment of consciousness, when the subject-object distinction arises, which is what we mean by consciousness, right? A subject that is thinking about an object, those seeds ripen. What seeds? The seeds to think that there is a subject, and the seed that ripens to think that there's an object. Okay? Different from what? The subject. And a subject different from the object. Subject-object distinction. Okay? Then, nice things and ugly things appear as if they existed from their own side. Because we think that objects exist out there independently, we think objects out there in the world exist as I am seeing them, as pleasant or unpleasant, on their own, outside of me, objectively, okay? Then what's the fourth one? I like them and dislike them stupidly. What's the stupid part of them? Of thinking that they exist apart from the perception of them. Okay? Thinking that they exist objectively as likable things or dislikable things. So therefore, I like them or dislike them ignorantly. Thinking that they exist in ways that they can't. So thinking that the irritating person exists objectively as an irritating person leads then to the perception of them as dislikable from their own side. I dislike an irritating person, and I'm perceiving them as objectively existing as an irritating person, and that's the ignorant disliking. You see? So you're going to go through this exercise a little bit. Is there something wrong with disliking an irritating person? No. An irritating person is not in your self-interest. Your enlightened self-interest is to be a happy person, so you can help other people be happy. Irritating people are thwarting your mission in life to be happy. So there's nothing wrong with disliking an irritating person. What's the ignorant part of it? Thinking that the irritating person that I dislike comes from anything other than me being irritating to other people. That's the ignorant disliking. So what's wise disliking? I don't like an irritating person. They are thwarting my mission to be happy and to help other people be happy. So the last goddamn thing I'm going to do is to recreate the causes for more irritating people in my life. By doing what? Start the other way. Ignorant liking. Ignorant liking means thinking that Ben & Jerry's ice cream exists as a likable thing objectively. And that I get Ben & Jerry's ice cream in any other way than by giving likable things to other people. The only way I get a likable thing is by making sure that likable things come to other people. And Ben & Jerry's ice cream, so Ben & Jerry's ice cream does not come from ice cream stores. Does not. It's not the cause for Ben & Jerry's ice cream. Okay? The cause for Ben & Jerry's ice cream, if you like Ben & Jerry's ice cream, is giving likable things to other people. And then Ben & Jerry's ice cream will come to you, whether there's an ice cream store or not. See? Whether you go to the ice cream store or stay home, Ben & Jerry's ice cream will come to you. That's likable. That's wise liking, is understanding where the likable thing comes from and then saying, well, I want more likable things. So in this case, we'll just now rehearse like general rules on this, okay? If you don't like something, never do it to someone else. Because the only way you got it was by doing that thing to them, to someone else in the past. The only way you got an irritating person is by being irritating to someone in the past. So if you don't like an irritating person, what? Never be irritating to anyone. And if you like something and you want more of it, I mean, which is kind of the nature of likable things, right? Is that we want more of them. Then what? Make sure someone else gets it first. So when you get Ben & Jerry's ice cream, you like look around and it's like, who the hell can I give this away to? As soon as possible. I'll have a little bit, maybe. See? Right? So that's wise. That's working the system. So anyway, the ignorant liking and disliking causes us to do stupid things, bad karma. It causes us, for example, to think that if I don't get the Ben & Jerry's ice cream before someone else does, then I won't get Ben & Jerry's ice cream. See, if I don't push myself to the front of the line, then I'm not going to get Ben & Jerry's ice cream. That's ignorant action done as a result of ignorant liking, disliking and liking, right? Okay. And then karma forces us to wander around in the circle of suffering. Big wheel gets another big turn. And we just start the whole process over again.